Hello. Hello. Let's get rid of the yoga meme. Okay. Some people have reported a couple new compiler bugs. So I thought I'd fire up a stream and fix them. Do I have a video on bad code habits? No, honestly, I think the way most people are taught to program is bad code habits. So, you know, just go read somebody's how to program website and you'll learn about bad code habits. No, it's not available for testing. Some people, meaning people who work on the compiler. And the first thing that was reported is a crash. Second thing that was reported is a crash. So I'm prioritizing that one. Bug 48. It actually asserts in debug build before crashing. So boom, right away. Right away. Crazy. Okay, so what is this declaration? It's an identifier loc. Right. Okay. Okay, so it's doing polymorphism. And for some reason, it's expecting there to be a type inst. What are we doing? I have this note here. Wait, what about colon equals declarations? That's exactly what's going on. So when I wrote this code, now the problem is this, inst wanted. Does anyone depend on inst wanted? All right, so we're going to go to polymorph. .cpp, line 1018. We're going to say if decal type inst, else it must have an expression. Okay, so this stuff goes up there. And down here we'll say type wanted equals decal expression inferred type. Assert that, and we'll set this to null. So what do we use inst wanted for? Okay, it looks like we always check that. Wait, what is this? Okay, wait. What are we even doing right here? Loop solver. This is a polymorph loop solver. Right. So we get the lambda. We copy the constants, or we copy the lambda. So what are inputs? Match solver input. Where's match solver input defined? Oh, so loud. So loud. Okay, what happens? Hey, it didn't crash. Okay, what happens? We expected a lambda here. It didn't figure out how to get one. Well, that's a totally different problem. We expected a lambda here, but didn't figure out how to get one. Well, let's see. What the hell is it even talking about? Line 16 of repro. So this is the identifier X. And we're matching it Why are we matching the identifier X to a lambda? The hell am I even doing? I don't remember this at all. What? Why is that cleared? Oh, because there's another lambda in this scope. Well, let's see what inputs is. T, T, and source code location. Okay. This is weird. So this T is bound to my T. Okay, this is going to be confusing. Let's go look at, well, we've got suite assert differs here. What was I? Was I 0? Yeah. So the expression given for this was x. That's right. Why does it think it has to be a lambda? That doesn't make any sense. Is it because we think we're in the loop solver? This is one of those things where I'm like, why did I write that? The thing that that's pushing us into this loop solver, which is the more complicated version of solving for polymorphic, is that T is matching to this identifier X, which is also, this whole thing is syntactic sugar for a polymorphic procedure, right? So T is X, but what's X? Well, it's just a thing, you know? You know what I'm saying? What do I think about the Crystal language as a language for game development? I don't remember anything. I looked at it before. It doesn't look like a language for serious programming. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those languages trying to be high level, which is not what I think is appropriate. All right, dude. I haven't thought about the loop solver in a long time. Okay, so we're looping. That makes sense. That's fine. Copied our inputs. We got a new lambda. I can't really look at it right now, but why did we expect a lambda here? This doesn't make any sense. Unless the only reason we could loop is if there's a lambda argument, but that's not right. Maybe we just never hit a test case. I feel like maybe I only threw really hard test cases at it, which are things with polymorphic lambda arguments. But this is actually a different situation. Okay, what do we want these inputs for? We iterate. You don't even care that it's specifically a lambda. Like, oh wait. Okay, this turned into a hairy thing. So we fixed sort of one bug and it revealed another bug, which is so weird that we wouldn't have hit in a previous test case. No, don't believe someone is giving misinformation about what lambda means. Don't listen to it. It's not what lambda means. Lambda is just functional programming terminology for a procedure. That's all it is. It's all it is. It just means procedure. And the colon here doesn't mean what it does in C++. This is not an object-oriented language. Oh, I see. And then you're saying method member function. All right. It's hard to follow. The reason lambda means anonymous procedure in C++ is because it's just how it went. It's just how the naming convention went. Anyway, I kind of wasn't in the mood for a bug this hard today, but I guess that's where I'm at. Yeah, you can have anonymous procedures here. It could be anonymous or non-anonymous. It's the same thing. A procedure being non-anonymous just means you happen to bind a name to it, which is not anything that really matters that much. Okay. So okay, we just need to handle what happens if it itself is a variable. In C++, you wouldn't say that void main is a lambda, but functional programming people would probably. I mean, it depends on what tradition you come out. Look, I mean, all the functional programming stuff is based on the lambda calculus where every procedure is a lambda. That's just what they are, right? And if you happen to have a name, then you happen to have a name. C++ people didn't really know what lambdas were, so they came to it from a different direction. And C++ people think lambdas are a special thing that only happens when a procedure is anonymous, and that's really advanced and scary. It's special. But for functional programming people, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a procedure. I don't know why people say the things they say. I don't know. I don't know why people say the things they say. Okay, so anyway, this is an ident. What is the type of this expression? Oh, is constants block entry for polymorph type variable? All right. Well, that's just a case that we need to handle, I think. Let me look at the non-looping case. So we just do a check the types match. Okay. So I think this is all fine. Okay, this level of indentation, is this per item? Yeah. Okay, so I think if it's not a lambda, we just don't assert. Well, all right. That's probably not a complete solution. Polymorph variable t is needed but was not specified. Well, okay. How do we stop here in the future? Site arrow s is this number. Okay. Okay. So x per given is going to be this ident again, right? It's x, totally. They do match. Why didn't we add a match? That's interesting. I bet it's because of no, that's not it. All right, let's just see what happens. That should not be true. We're not doing varbs at all. This is true though. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is not true. This is true. So why? Why do we not add a match in this case? I don't know. This is code that I just haven't thought about it in a long time, so I'm not really that fast on it. This doesn't seem right to me. I don't know why we're doing this. Look, I'm pretty sure we handle this, even in the non-looping case, maybe. Maybe not. This goes into a really deep problem. I'm gonna postpone this because this gets to be a whole stream of its own. Because it involves changing fundamentally some things about what the polymorph solver is trying to do that I thought it already handled. Like I thought our test cases already did this. So we're going to have a whole stream. I'm going to cross off part 1 and I'm going to say bug 48 part 2. We're going to have a whole stream where we look through all the polymorphism examples. We figure out why this isn't in there, or if it is in there, what's the difference between this case and that one, or I mean the tests, the automated tests. I know that we have a test that tests this. I'm pretty sure. So the question is, what's the difference between this and that one? And for a late night stream, it's not a good idea to do big things if you're late at night and tired, right? Like core things, because those are the things that have to be like clean and good. So I'm just going to sleep on this one. I'm going to make sure that we didn't break anything in the other stuff. Now, of course, we've changed around the place. There's no VC folder anymore. Okay, so Sokoban still runs. And keep typing the old path. Okay, so we still fail one test because I've been lazy and haven't fixed it yet, but that's the expected result. Fix part 1 of bug 48. So we're going to go to bug 47, and I'm just going to leave it on my list. Because there's starting to be a few bugs that are like non-trivial, and if I want to think seriously about those, I want to clear out the trivial ones. And I think 47 might be more on the trivial side. So let's do that. Whoops. What am I doing? All right. Okay, assertion failed. in repro, line 38. Right, okay, this one was weird. This was a constructor problem. This one, they defined two different matrices of different dimensions. And so forth. And there's two things called identity. And this constructor is supposed to resolve the overload and figure out the right constructor for the right matrix. But it doesn't seem to happen, because we're instantiating a matrix 4 and it's calling the matrix 3 constructor, which asserts. So that's no good. Hopefully this is easier to fix. I'm all messed up where the files are now, so we moved them around. Okay. If we have a declaration that's a constructor, we eval it to a literal or constant. We're making a fake procedure call so that we can resolve any overloads, I think. Right? And for some reason, maybe that doesn't totally work or something. So we're going to set a breakpoint like here, like line 7985. All right. Oh, we're still running the wrong one here, I think. Yeah, I used C++ for like 20 years. Something like that. And then before that, I programmed in C for, let's say, 5 years, 4 years. And before that, I programmed in Scheme and Basic and assembly language and all these things. Okay. Okay. So wait. Okay. All right, this is an identifier. All right, let's just see what happens when we step in to resolve potential overloads. Make sure this is the right identifier. Identity, that's correct. Okay. Collect overloads. 2, that's correct. Wait, what? I didn't read that next line. Let's get back there. No, not show next statement. Set next statement. Wait, I stepped through too fast. Help me. Oh, we're yielding. But we got 2 overloads. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Yielding is expected. Okay. Now we're not yielding, which means those procedures have now been type checked. There are 2 overloads. Line number 22. So that's the matrix 4 identity, which is the one that we want. Did we yield there? No. Did we success? No. What? Why? Oh, wait. Are we in matrix 4 or matrix 3? Decal. Line number 18. We're in matrix 3. So this one doesn't even matter. All right. Fine. This is the one we want. 9. What is this one? That's this S. Wait, what? Okay, I want to start over because we were watching the wrong thing for a while. Okay, this time we probably yield. Yep. This time maybe we don't yield. Okay. Whoa! What? All right, this is ridiculous. We only got 1 overload. Oh, this is runtime support assertion. This is not where we want to be. What are we even... What is even going on? It did the stupid Visual Studio thing. People who make this program drive me up the wall. I'm not even going to explain what just happened. It's happened to me like 100 times. It didn't used to happen until they broke it in the newer versions with their stupid new UI. It's not any better than the old UI, it's just different. It's actually worse in several ways that I could enumerate if I didn't want to focus on debugging. It's like they just hire the summer intern to just rewrite their Visual Studio UI. Why not? Do they need to be an expert in what were the problems? No. Just change it. It'll be great. All right. Collect overloads. Okay, now these are actually what I care about, maybe. But we're yielding, right? We're yielding. So next time. We're not yielding. Correct. Do we have 2 overloads? Yes. Let's just make sure site line number is 18. This is not where I want to be. What? When it takes like 10 minutes to even be looking at what you wanted to look at, that's what kills you. Okay, this is the right one. And I think right there was my mistake, but frankly, that only happened because I got derailed by the other damn thing. That's Microsoft's mistake. It's this one. This one. Okay. Now I have to start over again. Someday we'll debug the thing that we're actually trying to debug. That'll be awesome. Okay. 2 overloads, but yielding. Good. Okay, go. Go. Okay. This is freaky. So what's happening here, this whole procedure, this explains why there's a bug. This whole procedure uses a piece of state that tells us where we are. And apparently, and it's maintained over yields and stuff because we don't want to redo work that we already did if we had to yield. This is a relatively new speed thing that went in. Now the problem is, we make this kind of a fake call here. And the problem is, okay, we can't do what we're doing. We can't do what we're doing. So here's the thing. This is actually a big problem too. This is a big problem. So in order to have this persistent state that maintains across yields and stuff, we had to have somewhere to store it. So I was like, hey, if we're calling a procedure, let's just store it on the procedure. Why not? Right? And the reason why not, well, the reason why not is because see, in the case of overloads, we're getting the first one. Like we're not actually getting the lambda that we're calling yet. That's the whole point. We're figuring out what lambda we're calling. So, okay. I just have to punt on this. I just have to do the following thing. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, we're just going to do this. Caching will kill you sometimes. Hey, look, it works. Does anyone else use that? Nope. I'm going to leave it there as like a prompt to think about this issue. Someone's asking about self-hosting again. I need to make that frequently asked questions. Back in the old days, when a compiler was like the pinnacle of software, then that made sense to be like the goal of your thing. And also, like, it's self-respecting. Like, you know, hey, my language is cool. And people like the meta thing about making your language in your language, but it's actually not that interesting to do, especially these days. So we will self-host at some point in the future, far in the future. For now, the objective is just to figure out what the language is, right? You don't want to derail that by rewriting the compiler while you're in the middle of figuring things out. So that is what is going on. All right. See if Sokoban runs. All right. Let's see if these tests run. All right. That is bug 47 fixed. This is a 4K display. Yeah, sometimes bugs are hard and sometimes they're easy. And I mean, the other one is not maybe that hard. Like I could maybe do a hack solution to bug 48 in 10 or 15 minutes. But like I said, that would like complicate the polymorph loop solver and make it messy. And I don't want to do that, right? I want to make sure we're really doing the right thing. So if indeed that situation that is causing bug 48 is missing from our test cases, which I'm not sure how it could be, but if it is, then maybe we have to go through and come up with a few like similar but different test cases to make sure that, to see really what the extent of the problems are. So that bug 48 is going to be like a serious high-powered solve. There's a couple other bugs though. There's bug 32 and bug 46, which are also like polymorphism related bugs, and so I need to look at those two like more seriously and see what's going on. Still want to do them late at night. What's the expected timeline for all of this? For self-hosting, I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, if I were to estimate, I'd say 3 to 4 years. Like but that's because there's so many more things that are higher priority than that. Like, hey, releasing the compiler to people, making sure it debugs very well, having program visualization tools. All that stuff is higher priority than self-hosting. In fact, self-hosting it only becomes a high priority when the fact that it's in C++ becomes the biggest bottleneck, or a large bottleneck, which it's certainly a bottleneck. Like, I don't like programming in C++, but it's far from the biggest problem right now. All right, folks, I think this will have been a short stream. I just wanted to hit those. And like I said, everything left is requires more focus than would be available on a late night stream right now. I wouldn't mind making an Emacs replacement at some time, yeah. Programming boot camps, yay or nay? They're probably not a good idea because the problem is they're all teaching you like web programming or that kind of thing, and that's bad programming. So if you could find a programming boot camp that teaches you like actual good programming, then maybe. I don't know if there is such a thing. I haven't looked that much into it. But also, even if you did like a boot camp kind of a thing, you have to realize that they're not teaching you deep computer science knowledge, right? They're teaching you like how to get stuff done quick, or how to get simple things done quick, right? That's the important part, not like complex, involved things. So it might be fine if you just want to learn how to program real fast. I don't know, but you then, if you were to do a boot camp kind of thing, you have to realize that you've only got a very thin surface level of knowledge and have to like dig under that. Yeah, no, I don't mean, when I'm saying how did this test case not happen, I actually don't mean bug 47. Although I did definitely have a test case that had overloads, but the way that this bug happens, if the overloads happen in the opposite order, then it would pass, right? It would resolve correctly even though it was wrong. So definitely in the demo, I resolved overloads in a constructor, and I think I got lucky. But bug 48 is the one where I'm saying, oh wait, did you report 48? I don't know. Anyway, bug 48 is the one where I'm saying, like, I don't understand how I didn't do it like way back in my demo, like a year ago or whenever that was, much less a modern test case. So, like I would have thought that I had done that in my demo, and it's possible that I did and it broke. It's possible that I didn't because I was doing crazier examples. So we just need to take a look. The thing is, it doesn't even have to be that specific. It just has to be passing a polymorphic procedure with like a scalar polymorphic variable into another procedure. And I know I tested that. It's just that I must have made some really wacky test case where the procedure had a procedure argument only, right? And what that means is that the current code is probably not very far from being correct. It's just that I want to work on it when I'm awake and I'm not going to hack it, because that code is important. It's important that it, like the polymorphism solver needs to be as simple as absolutely possible, because it's important and it's core to the compiler. And I have a rule that I will not work on it when I'm tired. Because otherwise, you do a little complication here that you don't need, a little complication there that you don't need, and then that squares, and so it becomes much bigger than one, and it's not good. It's not good. Northern Lion in the Champions of Fire mobile esports tournament. I don't know what the Champions of Fire is, and if it's mobile games, I'm honestly not that interested. Who would have esports with mobile games? Does that even make any sense at all? Why would AST use classes? Because you have a thing that's common to all the nodes, and then you have things that are specific to each node. That is a very, very, very common pattern. What games are they playing in the mobile game esports? Someone tell me that. Our plan is to certainly, with the compiler, do a limited, closed release in 2018. And then if that goes well, hopefully we open it a little wider too later in the year. But we have to see, right? I'm not committing to dates on that, because who knows? Vainglory. I never played that, so I don't know. Crossy Road. Pac-Man 256. I mean, I can see those as, hey, we're playing competitive video games, or we're playing video games competitively, but an e-sport is, Crossy Road is not an e-sport, right? It's a game where you can compete to get the highest score. It's just different. I need to get a handmade compiler later. No, it won't be in 2018, probably. Yeah, I mean, if it's a fun event, then that's cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'll probably do a stream, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, to hit these deeper bugs, and we'll see how they go. See you guys later.